the shop, and this the episode of making the MAXI CNC router. So today's video we are going to be manufacturing all the parts needed to assemble the Z axes. Okay, I've got the Z-axis mounting plate and the linear guide rails now on there. And look, at this point, before putting the guide rails on, you should have checked to see that this is exactly 90 degrees. But when the rails have been put on, you know, there is a very, very slight amount of movement that you can achieve. All you need to do is get one vertical like this one, and then you need to get a vernier and measure. Let's have a look here. So that's, I don't know whether you can read that, that's smallest figure there is 125 exactly. Can you see that? 125? Actually, as I pulled it off, it went to 125.1, but it is, I've checked it a dozen times, 125 dead. And then at the bottom, if you can see that, I don't know whether you can, hopefully you can, 125 dead. That's exactly parallel. Then tighten them all up. In this case they are tight, but recheck it. 125 dead. Perfect. As you're doing your ball screws up at this stage, just check to see you've got the clearance and that these run freely past, as in this case they do. In actual fact, I'm going to have to put something on the bottom of these to stop them dropping off. Roughly screw it in there like that. Just to make sure that these don't drop off the bottom on me. Just leave them like that, that's fine. You know, when you're working on it. Okay. So now, the next job for me to do is to make the spacer plate that goes on here. I'm putting a 6mm spacer plate on here and here. And then the mounting plate then for the spindle motor mount. So looking pretty impressive at the moment. All moves as it should. Just a little tip, if you're marking out on steel, just get a thick Sharpie and just, you have to clean it first, clean any grease or oil off it, but just colour it in with a Sharpie and then scribe on it, and you know, it comes out a lot better for you to see what you're doing. And you know, the more accurate you are here in marking it and you know, sort of center marking or center popping the drill-ins where you have to drill, you know, well, you're not going to ruin the plate or the whole thing, and a lot of work and a lot of marking out, and the job will go a lot easier. And it does make it a lot easier too. I use these, they're jewelers or electronic engineers magnifying glasses, and I use them a lot, and as you get older, you know, you'll find that you use them more and more. But you know, another device that makes the job go, you know, a lot easier. An unbelievable amount of work has gone into that plate. So now comes the, I suppose, the nice job of mounting it onto the Z-axis. It should go something like this. Now what I've done, these are 5 M5s. I got these nuts on them here because I didn't want to cut these off to length, because I do have some correct length bolts coming. So I shall be changing these out. But what I've done is I've made them so they're made these holes 6mm, and of course these are 5mm, which gives you that little bit of wiggle room that you require to get this plate absolutely parallel with the Z-axis guide rails. You know, you just gotta make things with a little bit of wiggle room, otherwise, you know, you're going to end up filing holes and what have you. So get them all in there first, like this. Do them all up finger tight. Things are moving. And then you can tighten them up. Now, I would suggest tighten the ball nut up first, which are these 4 inner ones. Like this. And make sure it's not binding in any way. I've actually got 1mm exactly spacers. They're actually washers here. They're sort of precision made washers, and they're exactly 1mm exactly. Because when I made 6mm plate behind here, spacer plate, I was left with exactly 1mm gap between the ball nut housing then and the back of this plate. So it's an easy task to put 4 of these on the back of these holes, and I just used a little tiny bit of super glue gel. Actually, it's like gel super glue, just the smallest spot, and just place this on the back of the hole, hold it there for a second to go off, to be able to hold them there for you to put the plate up, you know, just enough to put so you can hold them to put these in. It works every time. I think I've done them all up there. Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's as tight as they need to be. You know, you don't have to get on there with an Allen wrench and go, you know, you don't have to do that at all. And we'll tighten these up. Now, you need to tighten these up sort of in a crisscross sort of way, like this. And they don't need to be any tighter than that. And then this one. Okay, check it again. Should be able to just move it with your fingers. That's it. And recheck it. That feels okay. Let's make this a little easier to turn with my hand. Put that on the top. Oh, that feels nice. And there should be just enough drag on it that you can't pull it down. Because if you have it running really, really free, what happens is when you mount your spindle on here, because that's like 12 kilos, plus the weight of this plate, which is probably another 5 or 6 kilos, it's like 20 kilos on here. Will normally allow this screw to unwind. So there's 20 plus kilos, you know, the weight of the bearings themselves and all that. There's maybe 25 kilos acting down on the screw. Well, unless there's a little bit of drag here, all right, this will just fall straight down. On most occasions, the magnetic drag on the stepper motor will stop that. You know, when you turn the machine off, it'll hold it there. But so when you turn the power off and the holding torque diminishes and goes away, sometimes the Z-axis can go travel all the way down. I have seen it on some machines. So, and the way I build a little bit of drag into this is, you know, when I'm doing this up, okay, I'll hold it over slightly to one side to actually load the bearings up a little bit. Just gives you that little bit of extra drag. And, you know, all is well. When I'm talking about drag, let's just make sure that this is... I'll bring the camera around and you can see that. And you can see yourself that this is absolutely 90 degrees with the Z-axis. And that's another reason why you make the holes through this plate about 1 millimeter or the next size up, to give you that bit of wiggle room to be able to just move this plate to be able to get this exactly vertical with the Z-axis. That's very important. So after talking about weight and Z-axis, we'll make the spindle on here now just to have a look, see what it looks like. Okay, so here we go. This is quite weighty actually. So I'm going to put this on a block of wood and line this up to meet the hole. Just somewhere there, I think. bolts in there to just hold it. And the good thing about this is, you know, these holes are equally spaced, that is. So that means if I want more reach down, or up for that matter, all I have to do is undo these bolts and slide the whole spindle down or up one. Well, I can't go up any further, but I can certainly go down anyway, which is nice to be able to do. And again, these are 6mm holes. Sorry, these are 7mm holes, and these are 6mm or M6s, so that gives me more wiggle room. Okay. Oh, that feels really nice. Oh, I'm really happy with that. Oh, I've got to cut the bolts here. Are you doing it? I left these two out at the bottom, so before I connected this up, the bearings didn't drop off the bottom. Can end up losing balls. Well, there you go. One finished Z axis for a CNC router. Of course, it's not totally finished yet, as in I need to sort of fabricate a mechanism of you know, sort of fitting the stepper motor, and also fabricate a connection between the ball screw, the X ball screw, and the back of this. Well, of course, that will be for the next video. And I'll also be fitting the ball screws to the Y axis. I should be able to get that all into one video. But we'll have to wait and see. And of course, then there'll be a series of videos of the electrical wiring and the making of the electrical box. And then finally, the first cuts, which I'm rather looking forward to. So if you've liked this video, please press like and subscribe. And just to remind you that the drawings will eventually be on Patron. So if you want to make one of these for yourself, you can. Already the information of where I bought all the parts that you can buy, like the you know, the linear square rails, the spindle, the drivers, and what have you. They're already on Patron, and I do see that some people are already taking up the build by purchasing parts in preparation. If you'd like to become a patron and support the channel, of course it's the patrons behind this channel that allows me to do this type of video and make these and show you how it's done. So I hope you pop in again and have a look at some of my other videos, and I suppose, well, it's bye for now.